The check looked fake as hell, probably printed it at home like all you people do. Those words didn't just cut through the quiet of Premier National Bank, they shattered it. Brittany Coleman didn't even bother to look up as she tore the $3,847 disability compensation check right down the middle, the pieces floating to the marble counter like wounded birds. And Darius Washington just stood there, still as stone, hands calloused and scarred from 3 tours in Afghanistan, resting steady on the counter's edge. Behind him, an elderly Asian woman gasped, fumbling for her phone. The security guard shifted, customers craned their necks, and Brittany, with her perfect blonde highlights catching the harsh fluorescent light, crossed her arms, smirk settling on her lips like she'd just done something noble. "I'd like to speak with your manager," Darius said, voice calm in that way only people who've been through far worse can manage. Ever been judged so harshly by how you look that someone destroys your livelihood right in front of you? Brittany had no idea she'd just made the biggest mistake of her career. Devin Harris emerged from the back, sleeves rolled up, tie loose, swaggering like he was about to save the day. One glance at the torn check, then at Darius, and his face hardened. "Sir, we have protocols for suspicious documents." His voice dripped with condescension, disguised as concern. "I'd like a corporate number and some tape to repair my check." Devin laughed. "Corporate won't waste time on situations like this." Behind Darius, Mrs. Chen, the elderly woman, quietly opened Facebook Live. "Y'all need to see this discrimination happening right now," she whispered. Viewers, 47,112 climbing. Brittany tapped her nails on the counter, tap, 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 as if marking time to his humiliation. Devin spread his stance to block the exit. "We can't just cash every piece of paper that walks in. Every piece of paper. Not every check. Every piece of paper." Viewers, 312. Comments were coming in hot. "This is disgusting. Get his badge number. Record everything." Darius pulled a leather portfolio from his jacket, rich brown, gold corners, the kind you don't pick up at Walmart, initials DW embossed in gold. "This is a legitimate government check. I served 3 tours overseas." "Yeah, well, anyone can say that," Brittany shot back. He laid his military ID on the counter, Purple Heart, Bronze Star, Combat Infantry badge gleaming under the lights. "IDs can be faked too," Devin muttered. The line behind him was growing, a businessman with a Rolex checking his watch, a young mother bouncing her baby. Viewers, 543. Comments now, call the news. Racial profiling. Mrs. Chen angled her phone to capture Brittany's badge. Employee of the Month, March 2024. And then came the words that dropped like a smoke bomb into the room. "Looking like you do." It was thick in the air, the bias, the assumptions. Phones were out everywhere now. Viewers, 1,847. Hashtag Premier Bank Shame taking off. Then the branch manager's door swung open. Angela Torres strode out, heels clicking, suit sharp enough to cut glass. She circled Darius like a predator, picked up a torn check piece, held it to the light, announced for everyone to hear, "Doesn't feel right." "I'm not leaving until this is resolved properly," Darius said. "Then I'll have to call the police for trespassing," Torres smiled. The security guard, Terrell, approached reluctantly. Now it was 4 employees surrounding one man. 38 minutes left, Darius murmured to himself. Torres frowned. Remaining for what? Nothing that concerns you yet. Phones were everywhere. Multiple angles. Multiple witnesses. And then he reached into the portfolio again. This time, no one flinched. A single sheet of heavy stock paper slid onto the counter, face down. 34 minutes, he said, glancing at his watch. Torres flipped it over, and her face drained. The gold embossed seal of Premier National Bank's board of directors glared back. Darius Washington, chief risk officer and board member. Devin stumbled backward into a display, brochures raining down. Brittany snatched the paper, read the title, and went pale. Mrs. Chen's viewer count, 8,900. Comments exploding, and oh way. Plot twist of the year. Darius pulled out a business card, set it beside the letter. "Feel free to call and verify." "You didn't know I was what? Black? Or you didn't know I was someone who mattered?" His voice stayed calm, but the words landed like punches. Torres' hand shook. Devin's jaw worked silently. Brittany slumped into her chair. Then Darius called Patricia Wong, the regional director. On speaker, "How's the field research going? Getting good data on customer service protocols?" she asked, voice warm but edged with steel. In that moment, every employee realized they'd been set up not by chance but by design. "Very enlightening," Darius replied. "Time to implement Protocol 7. "Confirmed," Wong said. "Bringing the helicopter. ETA 12 minutes. Viewers, 15,000. Hashtag Premier Bank Twist trending nationally." The next 12 minutes were pure pressure cooker. When Wong arrived, she moved like a general. Darius laid out data from 47 branches, racial bias stats, retention drops, lawsuits pending. Each number was a hammer blow. Torres tried to claim protocol, but Darius read aloud the section of the employee manual he'd co-written. Immediate termination for discriminatory behavior based on race, ethnicity, military status, or socioeconomic appearance. Wong didn't hesitate. Brittany and Devin fired on the spot. Torres demoted to teller, mandatory bias training. And then Darius unveiled the Dignity Protocol, AI analysis of customer interactions, monthly bias training, anonymous reporting app direct to the board. The crowd applauded. Viewers, 30,000. Hashtag now trending worldwide. When Brittany, hands shaking, passed him tape to mend the torn check. The symbolism was clear. The damage they'd done couldn't be erased, but it could be made visible, a scar to remind them. Patricia Wong processed the deposit herself, $3,847 into his account. "On behalf of the board, I apologize," she said. "Apology accepted," Darius replied. "But apologies don't change systems. Action does." 6 months later, Mrs. Chin's Facebook Live had 2.3 million views. The Dignity Protocol spread to 12 other banks. Harvard Business School taught the Washington incident as a case study. Premier National's complaints dropped 78%. Customer satisfaction hit all-time highs. Torres, now reformed, became an advocate for inclusive banking. The teenage TikTok streamer got a journalism scholarship. The construction workers' chess versus checkers quote became a meme. And Darius? He stood on stage at the National Banking Diversity Summit, telling the story exactly the way it happened. Calm, strategic, undeniable. Because what he proved that day, and what I hope you remember, is this: you never really know who you're underestimating. That person you dismiss could be the one to change everything. And sometimes that person could be you. So I'll leave you with this: if you've been underestimated, profiled, or dismissed, tell your story. Post it. Share it. Document everything. Because your quiet power might be exactly what the world needs to see next.